Hi everybody. Thought I'd do a quick little video here on the my Sega Game Gear that I have. The Sega Game Gear had come out well over a year after the Game Boy had come out in 1989, and then 2 months after that, the Atari Lynx had come out. Now the Atari Lynx has the distinction of being the first color handheld. It also has a pretty powerful piece of hardware. It did a lot more than both the Game Boy and the Game Gear did. But as far as color portables went, the Game Gear did better than the Lynx, primarily because of Sega's games like Sonic the Hedgehog and some third-party support they had gotten on it. So they had gotten a lot more games on it. And it did have an optional TV tuner. So back in the day when you had analog broadcast, you could actually watch TV on the Game Gear. Now, this Game Gear I actually had gotten off of eBay for, I want to say something like $10, $11. And it came with a bunch of accessories like the Sega Master System adapter and the TV adapter, which really doesn't do anything now other than being able to, say, plug a PlayStation into the analog input and play PlayStation on it. Now, the resolution on the Game Gear was a little bit better than the Lynx because they did have a TV tuner attachment. Now, this was not working when I got it off of eBay. These are notorious for capacitor problems. Back in the early 90s, Japan had a really rampant bad capacitor problem. A lot of consoles from that era need them replaced, and this one was no different. It was completely dead. You had a power light that went on, but nothing, no sound, no video, no nothing. So I did buy it because it did come with a bunch of accessories, and the unit itself is in pretty good shape, as you can see. If it comes along on the video good, the outside screen is pretty clear. The back was pretty good. It did come with only one game, this one here, which has a couple of games on it, like Pengo, which I do enjoy. And as good as they were, the Lynx and the Game Gear both suffered from terrible battery life because the backlighting system in here was a compact fluorescent type of backlight, and the color screen did use more power. Now, today, after replacing the capacitors, a gentleman, a really good guy named McWill, who I had bought two LCD enhancements for my Atari Lynx, which also offers VGA out. And I had installed one here in this Game Gear. Now, I didn't put the VGA out because I'm really not that impressed for doing that. If I want to play those type of games on a screen, I'll use an emulator or something, or use my master system and play the games off of on that. But the screen he puts in is a really great product. Basically, what you do is you have to open up your machine and you remove your panels. This is the LCD panel that had come originally in the Sega Game Gear, and you do have to pull it off. You have to be very careful. These are basically glue welded directly on, so you have to peel this off very carefully. You don't pull off the pins. But you also remove, the backlight. And this is one of the major things for eating up the battery, was to power this backlight. And with it removed, you are saving a lot on battery power. And then in addition to that, you have to remove some components that are no longer needed. And these are pretty much items that were used to drive the backlight for the most part. Now, again, I didn't want to modify this outside of it at all, so there is no VGA out on it. But the screen itself is phenomenal. If anyone's ever seen the old screen, how it was, this screen is very bright. And, it's not going to come over probably as good in the video as it does in person. But basically, it's the crispest display you probably can get on this device in a handheld situation. And I'm just going to try and pick a game here. Like I said, I did like Pengo. I know it's in here somewhere. There it is right there, number 16. So we'll go to 16, and we'll start up Pengo here. And again, I really wish you can see, as good as I can, how good that screen is. I mean, McWill got a screen that's actually perfect in size for the Atari Lynx 1, the Atari Lynx 2, and this Game Gear. It fits perfectly inside the bezel. There's no wasted space. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's an exact replacement. Now, he even offers modes, which, again, I don't use. You can simulate scan lines, but I really have no desire to simulate scan lines. I want a good picture. And for the price, I want to say they're like around $90 for each version of it. And it's totally worth it. Now, some people can install it themselves. There are people who do that. I kind of like modding it myself. But it's totally worth it. If you have a Sega Game Gear, an Atari Lynx 1, Atari Lynx 2, and again, I don't think it's available yet, but he's working on one for the Sega Nomad. It is totally worth it. The screen is phenomenal. You get better battery life. I can't say more about it. So there's not too much more to show in this video. I just wanted to let you guys know, if you've ever seen people describing a McWill screen, this is what they're talking about. And it really is totally worth the time and the effort to put it in your retro console. I know there are purists who are like, no, I want the old screen. I would say get two. Keep one original with the bad screen and get one that you can modify like this, because I'm telling you, once you go to these type of screens, you're never going to want to go back to your old consoles. That's it for today, guys. I'll put links below down to where you can order these from McWill. And again, have a great night. If you did like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Any questions, please ask down below. And everyone have a great night and game on.